Explain what you're doing.
Okay. I'm going to want to put the 2x4 supports in. So I need to leave enough room for those. So I'm measuring in 1.5 inches. Each side.
Now the 2x4s and the screws are the only money we've put out on this. And if we could find good 2x4s being given away, we wouldn't have bought those either. Now we're building the shelves before we actually put them in the cabinet because of the way that we're building it. It on 2 screws per board?
Yeah.
Okay. So explain the purpose of the clamps to people who don't know nothing.
Holds everything in place so it doesn't keep sliding while you're trying to put the screws in.
Now we're gonna have slight gaps between the wood on the shelves. Give it a little bit more of a rustic look. And what was the other reason?
So that we could get the full 24 inches without having to cut these pieces 1 inch wide to fill in that last little bit of gap.
Okay, I thought it was because you cut something wrong when you started. Yeah.
No, I did it based on we wanted them coming out 24 inches. So I hadn't measured these boards, I just took and cut these on the sample one so that I'd get the 24 inches.
He made a mock-up over there of what the shelves will look like, except for without those. Well, the 2x4s will be on the end, but not those little itty-bitty ones.
Oh, yeah, full height, those were just sample 2x4s.
That was just to see if he could do what I wanted him to do in my mind, and actually he could. Which is not the shocker you would think, the way he reacts every time I say I have an idea. Because it usually turns out making it better. Yeah, that's why we might need pilot holes, hon. Just saying. George doesn't like the sound of power tools. I know, George. Okay. So that's the first set of shelves complete.
So calculated out that I will need 72 and 5/8 inches. The bottom one sitting right on the ground, and then doing an additional 8 more. So the top will be at 72 and 5/8.
All right. Oh, so are we gonna put? You said you were gonna put a couple more at the top, or a couple more inches at the top. We talked about a couple more inches at the top.
Leave it a couple inches just to, in case I screw up. I can always cut them off at the end.
Yeah. That's how you want to put it.
So 74. Got my mark at 74 inches.
Mm-hmm.
It's all nice and lined up. Got my mark. So I can attempt to get straight cuts. Well, it's easier with a miter saw, or at least a table saw, but
I don't have one here.
I have it here, so.
All right, so we've just got this shelf set up, something to balance the 2x4s on, and we're gonna attach them to the top of this one first, which is actually the bottom of the cabinet. Are you gonna do that one first?
Yeah.
Do you have to? Can you do this one first?
I can come over and do that one first.
Thank you. Okay, so now we got the bottom matched up so that we can do the bottom. we're just gonna keep that in place so that it stays even as we build.
And that way we're not fighting the boards trying to
Yeah.
fall away from each other.
For all the work that's going into this though, I really see why wood furniture costs so much. Even if you take out the cost of wood, the amount of time it takes. It's giving me a real appreciation for that. I'll turn this off so I can help you put it down. Can I pretend it's a TARDIS and go inside?
That didn't work.
No. Classic understatement. All right. Careful, honey. So what we're doing here is putting on a board, and then the next set of shelves can set right on that, and it'll be about an inch or so taller than a 1.5 pint jar, which is the tallest jar. It's a little bit taller than a quart jar. Okay, and the other side will be done exactly the same, so I'm not going to film that part. Alright, so now we're going to put the next piece in. And it'll just set right inside. And go down and set on that. Like that. And you can see my shelves are the right height for the canning jars with a little bit of space to spare. And there's the canning jar. Even with a lid on, it'll fit just fine in there unless the tallest jar. Alright, so the top shelf is screwed into place, and we just continue building that the rest of the way up. And I'll come back and show you when it's a little further along. Alright, so we got about, well, almost halfway. And you can see how the shelf boards are trapped here, so it gives it more support than it would have if we didn't have the didn't have these ones holding them in place. Yeah. There we go. So that's where we're at right now. Got a ways to go.